Welcome to In Focus. I'm your host, Phan. She is known as the Bloomingdale Library attack victim, but to those closest to her, she is so much more. She is someone's daughter, someone's best friend, and someone who didn't deserve what happened to her. This story, which SBTN first heard about earlier last month, has since spread through Vietnamese communities across the land, and scores of people have reached out to help. We traveled to Tampa, Florida to find out more and to meet the people who are doing their best to help her on her road to recovery. It is a road that she has only just begun. What used to be just an ordinary field behind the Bloomingdale Regional Library in Tampa, Florida, now marks the spot where a young girl lost her innocence and every chance she had at a normal life. This field here is where family and friends found her on the night of April 24th. She was on her way home from work at the local mall and stopped at the Bloomingdale Regional Library to return some books after hours. She was on the phone with a friend and mentioned seeing a weird guy sitting on the bench, but figured it would be quick and kept going. That's when her friend heard her scream and the call was lost. The friend then calls family members and 911, and this is the call the police released from that night.
Friend came to the library to drop off books. There was a weird guy here, but she still got out of her car, and all I heard was screaming, and the phone got disconnected, and we drove up here because I was worried because she's not answering her phone, and her car is here with emergency lights, and there's blood all over the floor, and her tire. No, there's just blood all over the floor.
Minutes after the call, police arrive on the scene and find her in the field directly behind the library. But it is too late. Her attacker is gone and she has suffered several strokes from being strangled, and her skull is crushed. These massive injuries eventually cause her to lose her eyesight, and when she awakes from her ordeal, she cannot see and asks the detective, "Why me?"
Once they arrived there, they found a young Vietnamese female that had been beaten and sexually battered. She was immediately transported to the hospital and was treated, and currently remains in the hospital receiving treatment and therapy. It was determined that she had been beaten and sexually battered, and through our investigative efforts, we identified and arrested a subject by the name of Kendrick Morris. He was at the time, 16-year-old black male, and he is currently incarcerated in our jail facility awaiting trial.
Shortly after police responded to the 911 call, they obtained an arrest warrant for a young man named Kendrick Morris, who was often seen waiting at the library late at night until his mother picked him up. He is currently being jailed at the Hillsborough County Jail and is still awaiting trial. When he was arrested, he was only 16 years old.
It's just an unbelievable situation to know that a 16-year-old can have the wherewithal to commit a crime of this magnitude.
Many of Morse's friends say he is quiet and can't believe he is capable of such a crime.
The front of the library is where our victim pulled in and was to deposit her books, and she was discovered in the rear of the library, back here close to the wooded area.
Because the investigation is still ongoing, authorities can't reveal too much in order to keep the integrity of the investigation. Initial reports say DNA from the victim matches that of Morris. Interestingly, after police named him as a suspect in this case, they were able to run his DNA through the system and matched his to a rape that happened in June of 2007.
The state attorney's office, which are the prosecutors here in Hillsborough County, are in the process of putting a case together, and then we have a discovery process where his counsel will be allowed to view or determine what evidence the state has and how we are prepared to go forward and prosecute him on these charges. I might add that as a result of this case, Mr. Morris was also identified in a previous case that was about a year prior to the case at the Bloomingdale Library where a female was accosted at knife point and taken inside what at the time was a closed daycare center, and she was sexually battered as well and abused. And as a result of identifying Mr. Morris and this case, he became a suspect in the daycare center case. Through laboratory evidence, we were able to determine that he in fact was a suspect that was involved in the daycare center case as well. So he's been charged with that as well. He's been charged with sexual battery, kidnapping, and several counts of sexual battery, and also aggravated battery with a weapon.
This incident occurred at a daycare center less than 1 mile from his house, and the victim was a 61-year-old woman. Morris is currently being charged for both these crimes and is awaiting trial.
The State Attorney's Office has moved forward to prosecute him as an adult, and will do so.
We went to the home where Morris stayed with his mom and grandmother, and after several attempts, the grandmother finally opened the door. We wanted to hear from them their side of the story, but the grandmother refused to go on camera, saying she was advised not to comment. She did say that she believes her grandson is innocent.
It's our position that Mr. Morris is guilty of these crimes, and once it is determined he is guilty of these crimes by the courts, then it will be up to the courts to administer the justice that they feel is appropriate.
Now, almost 6 months after the incident, the victim has been moved to a rehab facility to relearn how to walk, talk, and swallow. Although she can't see, doctors say it is possible she may regain her sight within a year. She can't talk but can communicate to her mother, who never leaves her side, by squeezing her hand. Her progress is vital for Medicaid to continue to pay for her costly treatment. 1 month at the rehab facility costs close to $30,000, a sum that most people would find hard to sustain. Although this tragedy took place months ago, many people did not realize the extent of her injuries until a Vietnamese reporter did a story with the family. Since then, the reaction from the community has been tremendous.
We had a special graduation for at the rehab center. Her principal came, Sharon Morris, and some students that loved her dearly. She would have been in the honor court, so some students from East Bay came and they brought their robes to the rehab center, some of her very best girlfriends, and they wore their robes and came, and I know she knew they were there by her reaction to them. I know she knew those were her friends, and it was an absolutely, beautiful graduation.
One of the hardest things to understand about this senseless tragedy is how bright a future the victim had. She was a straight-A student with a full scholarship to the University of Florida. Today, her life is much different than what it should have been, but her family is no longer focused on why it happened, but on how she will get better. The family has declined to go on camera because of the sensitivity of the issue, but say they are grateful for all the support they've been shown. At this point, they will need a lot of donations in order to continue her rehabilitation. Coming up after the break, we'll take you inside the halls of the Tampa Bay Convention Center for a fundraiser to help her family pay for her medical expenses. Plus, find out what you can do to help. You won't want to miss it. Stay with us.
Thủy Dương xin hân hạnh giới thiệu Asia DVD 59, 4 mùa 2, một thời để nhớ sẽ được Trung tâm Asia chính thức phát hành trên toàn thế giới vào ngày 10 tháng 10 năm 2008. Với 44 nhạc phẩm chọn lọc rực rỡ đầy màu sắc qua sự biến đổi kỳ diệu của 4 mùa, xuân, hạ, thu và đông sẽ đưa quý khán giả trở lại khung trời kỷ niệm, để nhớ một thời áo trắng mộng mơ, để yêu một thời nhạc trẻ huy hoàng, để tri ân những nhạc sĩ đã góp phần xây dựng nền âm nhạc miền Nam hưng thịnh, và đã ghi đậm mãi khung trời kỷ niệm đầy yêu thương và nhân bản của miền Nam Việt Nam trước năm 1975. Asia DVD 59 4 mùa 2 Một thời để nhớ, phát hành ngày 10 tháng 10 năm 2008.
Đã từng mến mộ Thiên Kim, yêu tiếng hát Thiên Kim, hãy tìm mua DVD Thiên Kim Live Show với những ca khúc được khán thính giả yêu cầu nhiều nhất từ trước đến nay, cùng với những thổ lộ tâm tình đầy bất ngờ và lý thú. DVD Thiên Kim Live Show đã được phát hành khắp nơi. Xin liên lạc trung tâm Asia để biết thêm chi tiết.
Trung tâm Asia và đài truyền hình SBTN kính mời quý khán thính giả đến xem chương trình live show Giọng Ca Vàng 2009 được tổ chức tại Atlanta vào ngày 16 tháng 11 năm 2008. Vé đang được bán tại những địa điểm sau đây: Mai Phương Video, siêu thị Hồng Kông 2, NDI Management and Development Company, Minh Hải chuyển tiền và du lịch, Phương Uyên Services, Tín Nghĩa di trú du lịch và địa ốc, Jimmy Jewelry, Wholesale Carpet Star and more. Muốn biết thêm chi tiết, mời quý vị vào trang nhà www.giongcavàng2009.com.
Chương trình Gỡ rối tơ lòng do Phương Hồng Quế và Trang Thanh Lan thực hiện, bắt đầu từ thứ Hai ngày 13 tháng 10 năm 2008 vào lúc 8 giờ đến 8 giờ 30 tối. Thân ái mời quý vị có những tâm tình khúc mắc xin gửi thư về đài truyền hình SBTN, PO Box 127, thành phố Garden Road, California 92842 hoặc email về gỡ rối tơ lòng@sbtn.tv.
Welcome back to In Focus. I'm your host, Thuy Phan. Before the break, we gave you some background on what happened on the night of April 24th and how that has since changed the life of a young girl who is on her way to a full scholarship at the University of Florida. In this segment, we'll talk to some of her closest friends and find out from the people in the community why it's important to never stop hoping. Ever since the story surfaced that the victim in the Bloomingdale library attack was still recovering months after the story had faded, the outrage from the community and the urgency to do something to help has been incredible. In the past month, people have been trying to do their part and have staged fundraisers in the form of car washes, spaghetti dinners, or anything they could do to help. SBTN traveled to Tampa, Florida, to the scene of the crime, but also to the place where one of the biggest fundraisers to date have been held, the Fashion for Compassion show. The three youth who are behind Fashion for Compassion are friends Michelle Phan, Yvette Nguyen, and Wei Nguyen, who heard about it and felt they had to do something.
I wanted to make this happen because it's just like one of those things where you read something and you're just so inspired to do something good that in a way you feel like it's not like it's your responsibility, but it's something, it's like a calling almost. It's like a calling that you can, I don't know how to answer that. Honestly, I just know that my friends and I, we were like, you know what? Literally, we were just saying it. We were saying, we got to help this girl. And here we are today. This is what happened.
Basically, from what I read on the news, they decided to cut off the helping out the family, paying for the medical bills and therapy because they said that she had insufficient progress. So they decided to stop.
When the family heard about what they were trying to do, they invited the trio to come meet the victim. It was a meeting they say they'll never forget.
First, I was anxious, nervous. I didn't know how to react, how to act with the family and the victim. But the family made it, very easy. The girl, she's understanding now. She can comprehend. So she was laughing. She understood what we were saying. Just she couldn't see and move. That was just really sad. It's been a really tough experience.
Yeah, like when I came to the hospital and I saw her, and it's pretty sad, and almost have tear in my eyes, you know. It just, she, like, when you try to talk to her, like, she can, you know, have no eye contact, you know. It's just pretty sad, you know.
First time I met her and her family, we were anxious and nervous, and when we saw her, we felt at ease in a way. We felt, you know what, we were more inspired to work harder for this show. Seeing her at her state, it was really, in a way, my heart dropped, but I felt strong. Like, I felt, you know what, we need to stand up for injustice like this, and here we are today. Just don't stop believing in yourself and help people, basically.
In less than a month, they put together a fashion show with sponsors in the form of food, designers, and venue.
Hôm nay tôi tới đây để ủng hộ cho chương trình gây quỹ cho một cô gái Việt Nam, một nạn nhân đã bị làm nhục, và bây giờ cô ta đã nằm nhà thương, không biết tình trạng ra sao. Nhưng mà tôi là một người cha cũng có hai đứa con gái, làm cha mẹ lúc nào cũng phải thương con, cho nên hôm nay tôi tới đây để ủng hộ cho những anh chị em đã làm cái chương trình hôm nay để giúp cho một nạn nhân đó gây quỹ để trả tiền cho nhà thương và những cái khác.
With sponsors from around the country, the show gave viewers a chance to enjoy the evening, to remember why they were there, but not to dwell on it.
It was a very sad reaction to see such a beautiful girl that all of the students and children at the school East Bay considered her one of the most friendly, sweet, kind, brilliant girls that anything like this could ever happen to her.
I think it's very important for a community to support other families. We had a student from our school system that was the victim of a horrible attack, and she needs our care and our concern, and her family needs our monetary support to help her to achieve her goals, and I'll be very happy the day that she gets to attend the University of Florida.
We got a chance to speak to one of her best friends and how life has changed since that night.
I don't know that she's really back to a point where you could say that she's changed in the sense that, I mean, she still doesn't speak or anything, so I don't know what her personality will be like, but I mean, she still laughs at all of our inside jokes when I tell her, or if I tell her a funny story, she still laughs. I feel like she's still inside. It's just not as easy to get across, I guess.
She says that the two shared a lot together, and making the decision to leave and continue on with her education at the University of Florida, which is about 3 hours away, was tough.
We were supposed to be in school together, and I went and she didn't. I left her, in a sense. To me, it just, and I know that no one else thinks of it that way, because obviously I'm expected to go off to school. I'm not supposed to stay. But at the same time, I feel like I should have stayed, because I don't see her as much as I used to. And I feel like, I don't know, to an extent, it's like, it seems like I just kind of moved on with my life, and I didn't. But it's still a little bit, I feel bad.
Zamina and many of her friends came home for the weekend to support her friend.
It's a big opportunity for me to do something good, and it was something I was really interested in, a fundraiser I felt like I wanted to be part of.
That could be anyone, and that could be just like how her mom is devastated. That could just be like my mom. So it's a really sad story.
From this tragedy, many of the people who attended say it has taught them a valuable lesson in being cautious and more aware.
Honestly, yes. It gave me chills. Even till this day, talking about it gives me chills all the time. It's just terrible how someone go to a library and that could happen.
I went through and found a lot of articles online about it, and it actually brought a lot of tears to my eye because of just the mother-daughter relationship that they had and everything they're going through. It's just really overwhelming.
Tôi cũng có hai đứa con gái. Tôi nghe cái chuyện này tới ảnh hưởng tới con gái tôi rất là lo sợ cho chúng, vậy chúng vẫn còn nhỏ. Đó là cái lo sợ nhất của các gia đình mà có con gái.
I won't say that I'm like more. I'm more nervous than I was. People, I don't trust anybody just like I used to before. But it's more that I feel like I appreciate things more than I used to. My friends and family especially. I had never really realized that it could be taken. And I don't know.
Just like us, 18 tuổi and trở lên hay là younger, thì we're very, in a way, we're helpless. Tại vì mình phải cẩn thận every time we go out, you know. So hopefully this fundraiser will help cho mấy đứa con gái biết là mình phải coi chừng when we go out alone or anywhere, and that's about it. Yeah.
She didn't do anything to deserve it. She was the epitome of like the girl that you'd want to be your friend or your sister or your daughter. She was a great person, and she did nothing wrong to deserve this. And it could have been anybody, and she deserved all the help in the world.
Little by little, she is making progress.
Of course, our goal is to make a large sum of money, but even if we did, that wouldn't pay much for the family. Let's say we made $30,000, that would just pay 1 month for her to stay at the rehab. Our ultimate goal is to somehow convince Medicaid to reactivate their policy, to get enough people to support us and the media attention and everything, to show them that this girl has hope. She's getting her vision back. She's going to be fine, and she's not making insufficient progress. She's making progress, and she's going to keep moving forward. And that's our goal.
I pray every day that she gains her sight and her speech. I feel like with those two things, I feel like she'll be able to put her life back together and have some kind of normal life. I don't know that she'll ever be the person that she was, because I don't know how you can go through this and come out the same. But like my biggest wish for her is just that she's happy, that she lives like a long, happy life.
Her family is nearly bankrupt trying to pay for her care and had to apply for Medicaid. The problem now is, unless she makes significant progress, Medicaid would no longer foot the bill, and the family doesn't have enough funds to continue this expensive treatment.
I mean, this person could be your sister, your cousin, or your next door neighbor, or just anyone. It doesn't even have to be female, it could be anyone. And put yourself in their shoes and just think about what you can do to help them, basically. Just, you know, you don't even have to give money or donate anything. Just praying or telling your friends about it and spreading the news can really make a difference.
Tôi muốn nói với em, mà nếu mà em có nghe được hay là gia đình đó, nếu mà biết chúng ta tin Thượng Đế hay bất cứ tôn giáo nào, tin vào Thượng Đế, sẽ có một ngày nào em nó sẽ lành và gia đình sẽ bình phục.
The fashion show raised over $15,000, and the organizers say they'll keep working to do what they can. The victim will need a lot of help in the days and weeks to come, so every little bit helps. To send a donation, please make the check out to SunTrust Bank, Bloomingdale Library Attack Victim Fund, and send it to the address on the screen. Or you can email me for more information at thuyfan@sbtn.tv. We hope that you will find it in your hearts to reach out to this family who has had to endure so much and who still has a long way to go. Until next time, we hope you learn more, live more, and always stay in focus. Thanks for watching.